Borough fans, hello and welcome back to season 7 on the Stevenage Football Club podcast. Now, some of you will be wondering, why have we got an episode today? There is no match on the weekend, as we know it is the international break, although there are games going on in League One, and we are back at it next week for the final 8 cup finals, as we're calling them, being involved in the playoff race. Now, back last year, and I say last year, it was only about 4 months ago, back in October, September, we did have Berkley on from Xsolla. And today, lucky enough, we have been able to get Berkley back on to chat about all the recent things going on with Xsolla and obviously the charity partnership and stuff going on with the football club. So I welcome back onto the podcast, Berkley. How are you, mate?
Doing well, Matt. Thanks so much for having me. Yes, there's a lot happening right now, and it's a good time to be part of Stevenage and the march up the table as we're going into it, going toward playoffs. Let's get it done. Let's get it figured out.
I absolutely love that, man. Yeah, we were literally just saying it on our podcast. 8 games to go, 6th place. I can imagine you'd love us to make it. And I can just vision right now walking down Wembley Way, seeing all those Xsolla kind of promotion boards and things like that, mate.
100%. 100%. That would be a dream come true. Let's get it done and get it figured out and take the next step.
I would absolutely love that. Berkley, I understand that you've got some news recently that dropped this week with yourselves and the club and the charity partnership. Kind of give us an insight into all of it, mate.
Sure. Yeah, we call it the Stevenage Special Effect Week here at Xsolla. So we dropped the announcement and content in a big series that we filmed actually in January when we were there for some events. But we're thrilled to partner not only with the club, but this coming into Easter Monday on April 6th. This is the charity match where the kit I brought on for today. If you're gonna talk about it, you gotta wear it, right?
By the way, I love the fact that you've got it on too.
Thank you. So we give, with the alt jersey, because of the colors and different things that the teams were playing against or the clubs were playing against. We have the charity angle that we always donate one of the kits to a charity, and being part of video games and the building the community and the vision that we have, and what kind of part why we do this with Stevenage from a branding perspective, but it's also about giving back to the community. So Special Effect charity that does incredible work in the UK by creating what we call adaptive controllers in ways that anyone, no matter what their physical capabilities are, can play and enjoy the game. And so what we're doing as part of the sales that are going on in the shop, so go into the Stevenage FC shop and get one today, is a donation portion of those proceeds will go directly to Special Effect. Xsolla will match pound for pound of what's being sold and contributed. And we're the vision going into the 50th year of Stevenage next season, leading into it for 2026, 2027 campaign, is to get 50 adaptive controllers in the hands, in the homes of players around the UK. It'd be an amazing dream if we can realize that and hit that target of 50. We picked it because of the 50th anniversary. It just makes a ton of sense. And to have Rodney and Luther and Lucy be part of the content production that we did and really tell that story of sometimes in life we have to take a pause. Then you mash the reload and restart and then hit start again. Dialogue, athletes have that, our players have that, where injuries and things happen, and then Rodney's had that as he's grown up, and then through his family, and really telling about the experience that games have had an impact on him, and he's really good. When we were playing FIFA, he was good.
Was it? Yeah,
he was just a little inside scoop, a little inside behind the scenes. I was watching because he has to play against somebody, and he was one of our production teams, and he was like, "I'm getting crushed," and Rodney was dominating, and he has it down. He has this beautiful controller, large buttons that he can just mash with his right hand and the controller with his left on a joystick. It's not something you can buy in the store. It's really completely customized to what he needs to be able to do what he does in the magic that he gets to play on the pitch in the game of going into it. So we're thrilled to do this. It's something that warms our hearts to be able to do and just do good things for the community and, pay it forward.
I absolutely loved it. Do you know what? I was watching the video of that the other day. I thought it was brilliant. And do you know, I'm not surprised he was amazing. I could even see from the from the film that Luther was a little bit kind of anxious when he picked up the gun. I thought, oh yeah, he's getting beaten here. But I absolutely loved the video of that, and it was such great, captivating content I found as well, and it kind of really grabs, the listener and the watcher to watch it and listen to it, and it just feels, Berkley, like it's a brilliant partnership, and kind of what you've done with the charity, etc. It seems very exciting and it's inclusive, and I think that's what's important.
100%. You hit the nail on the head. You should come pitch it for us. And exactly what's going on.
I'll send an invoice.
Inclusivity, opportunity, longevity. Those are all things, vision that's in our mission statement that we have as a company. But be able to showcase that and give these opportunities to everybody. And we're not done. Like, there's gonna be more content that we're gonna put together and really we want to capture through this story of controllers being built. Getting them in the hands of players. We're going to have an activation outside of the LAMAX. We've done that a couple times there on April 6th, so you can come check it out. Learn more about the charity and learn more about what's going on. We'll have these kits on everybody. There might be a little guest appearance by an Easter bunny. I heard that's coming into it with our Oboro friends, and it's going to be really cool. And this is just something that, it motivates the team. And I was even talking to Luther and Lucy during it, and it's like, when you see things that are going on, the fans get behind it, in the momentum and the positivity, and you walk into the stadium, and if you don't get fired up, you don't get a chill down your spine, you don't have a pulse. And it's incredible, and that makes an impact on them, and then they perform better. Because they see what's going on. They see what the club's doing. They see what the support they get all the way up to the chairman in owners' boxes, and like what's going on. They see that, and it impacts their performance on the pitch. And that's why you're starting to see them climb. We started off great. We, went through a couple things there in the winter, and now we're like fired up and ready to go. And let's get past Stockport. Let's get past, let's get, one at a time. Let's pick them off.
It would be very exciting, man. I've got to be honest. If we come the end of the season and we got in those playoffs, and we had all this stuff going on with yourselves and the charity, it would be a fantastic, terrific time. Also, one other thing I wanted to mention, actually, because I remember when we last spoke, I think it was about October time. It was around that time. I remember that you had said to us that you had kind of a new brand logo coming out with Xsolla. And I think we all saw it for the first time when we wore the blue kit. And me and my friends, oh, look, you can see the new logo. First of all, by the way, we think it looks absolutely fantastic. How did it kind of come about? Was it just a decision just to want to rebrand, etc.?
Yeah, and it's so Xsolla celebrated our 20th anniversary this past summer.
Wow.
And it was one of those things, and you see a lot of companies like F1 did it last year. It was F175. Like, they take their logo, put a number next to it. It's kind of simple and easy to do, to celebrate and recognize. But we look at it as it's not so much about the past, it's what we're building for the future, and we're a very future forward organization. So like, now's the time. Let's rebrand the whole thing and build that story of what we're building for all the things to help video game developers and build the community so they become successful, and then players at the end of the day can enjoy the game. That's our vision, and that's what we're going into it. We launched it technically in December. There was a big game awards show in Los Angeles the second week of December. We launched it that week, rolled it into London. Obviously, we were at the match. We had that incredible goal in the corner, and our production team was perfectly placed in the corner.
Oh, this was Luton, wasn't it? I've seen the footage. Brilliant.
I think I stood up and everybody's like celebrating. I was like, "Get the shot!" like from a production perspective, turn around.
Just praying for the ball to go in. Right, getting
praying for it is to happen, and it was such an incredible match. There was that PK save too as well. That happened, that was going on. So there's other footage that we had of the match. But it's really showing the journey. And then when you get to physically touch and feel your new logo and your new branding that we were able to do for the first time there at Luton, or for that match, was incredible to see it going about. We're going to keep iterating against it. Well, you'll see more stuff, more merch in the shop, because we have signed the deal for another 2 years to be with the club, and that will go through 2028. And we're super excited about that. We see the commitment, what's coming on from Mike, Phil, the whole family, and everybody, and making that possible. Stu, and the content that the team's doing and the players are getting more involved into that. It's been pretty credible. And using the brand this is an opportunity to launch our brand and communicate it to the audience is pretty spectacular. And then the beauty of being in the game in EAFC, because we're in League One, you can play as Stevenage, and then you see the Xsolla logo across the front of everybody's chest. Is pretty cool. Our CEO sends me text messages every once in a while of his screenplay of what's going on.
Does he really?
It's just like hearts everywhere and like what's going on, and we love seeing that.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. I love stuff like that. Do you know what? It's great because there was a game we played recently, Plymouth away. It was Tuesday night, 2 weeks ago, and we wore the blue kit and we had the new logo on it. And I think I said to you on the last podcast, it really has kind of gained popularity. The amount of people that ask us about, who's your sponsor, and we tell them. And actually, really coincidentally, we were having a chat with some Plymouth fans about. I remember when you publicly kind of announced the charity stuff, and they thought it was amazing. And it just feels like, especially with the sponsor and with everything going on, it's gaining popularity, especially in our division. People are standing up and noticing kind of what we're doing, which is brilliant, of course.
Yes. And that's our hope. And then people get more and more involved, and the word gets out, and, more kits get sold, and there's more donations that get to happen. And we all, it's the whole community really gets an impact to help build those that might need a little help, and so that they can go play, EAFC as an example, and be able to enjoy their experience or their favorite racing game or whatever it is, to just bring some joy.
I absolutely love that. Do you know a question I was going to ask you, actually, Berkley? Because I was thinking this earlier, actually, because obviously I knew that we were having you on the podcast, and a couple of questions I thought of earlier. I thought, I'd love to ask this: is where do you kind of see the vision for it in a few years' time? Because I know it's difficult, isn't it? Because when you're in the present times and you're doing all these amazing campaigns, but where would you like to see it eventually go in, 2 to 3 years' time?
The partnership, or
the partnership, things with Xsolla as well, with what's going on.
So through the partnership, we're going to continue to grow. We've taken smaller steps and tested a couple of things, and everything we've kind of taken that shot in one and hit it in the back of the net and putting that together. So we want to do more collaborations, more content. There's some big ideas that we're working on. Hopefully we can share with you later and what's coming on board. But there's the opportunity is limitless here of what we can do together, and then that helps us tell our story. And as we continue to grow, our objective is to work with more video game companies as a company, and give them the opportunity. We want to bring more people to the LMX and to experience what we feel every time we walk into the stadium, into that. And then, hopefully we can, help grow this incredible industry. I mean, the video games industry, and people think about it, it's larger than Hollywood and music combined.
Wow.
From a revenue perspective and what's happening, you hear about these movies and things that are coming out, and they'll make 80 million in on an opening weekend, and that's a big one. What Hail Mary just announced that
Yeah.
what they have, what's going on. But it's an over $300 billion industry from around the world. And the cool thing we get to do is by helping take payments as you think about it, because you purchase the transaction, purchase that digital good or the game. And we're able to open up these payments and provide that opportunity. So somebody as far as Vietnam, as Seoul, Korea, it could be Dubai and UAE, very different complexities of what's going on, and be able to put that game in your hands. Because if depending on how you pay for stuff, you want to be able to make that a possibility. So we're going to continue to expand our payments. We're going to extend to how we market mobile games, PC games, web games, and doing that. And the beauty is we get to engage with billions of people every single day around the world, because there's always people playing. And it doesn't matter how old you are, what you look like, what your journey is, what your physical abilities are, which is the whole point, coming back to special effect, that you get to play games and you can have a good time. And you could be doing Fortnite, Roblox, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Candy Crush, Wordle. You're still a gamer. Everybody's a gamer in some capacity, and it gets to be a lot of fun. You look on the trains, you look on the airplanes, the buses, everybody's on the phone, right? Yeah. They're looking at it, and when they're sideways with these thumbs or even going back and forth, it's not always the socials. It's you're playing a game.
Sounds absolutely fantastic. One of the chaps on our podcast said, "Oh, you've got to ask Berkley something," and I said, "Oh, yeah." You've got to ask him this question. So at the football club recently, it was announced, I think Phil had announced that we'd ended a partnership, I think, with Lamex Food Groups or something like that. It was a company that Phil owns. So the kind of name for the stadium at the minute is just the Stevenage Football Club Stadium. And my friend really wanted to ask you, could there be a possibility where the stadium actually gets called the Xsolla Stadium?
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. It's an interesting dialogue. This is a cool point for Stevenage, where it's going to go, because those are long-term deals that you do from a stadium. In my previous life, I've helped negotiate some of those and some big complex opportunities to put it together. That could be something interesting, and it's going to be amazing to see what Phil and the team, Mike and everybody do. With that, I think there's a lot of opportunity here for somebody big to come into it. I'm sure there's an email in my inbox that I need to respond to. Not that we're doing anything like that, but we do have a lot of connections in the space, and we'll help out where we can and like what's going on. But it could be, this is the next point. Let's get promoted, get a new logo on the stadium, to your point, and what's happening on the next journey. And we're off. The opportunity is limitless for this club. And I could see us, down the road making the right moves. And who knows, we can be an EPL. Like, let's get it done.
Oh, wow. Could you imagine that'd be the dream, wouldn't it? It'd be so fantastic. And I'm so happy I've been able to ask it, because we were just having a little laugh and a joke. We're like, oh, wow, could you imagine the Xsolla Stadium? That would be fantastic. Now, I obviously know the team are currently in the playoffs, and there's 8 to go, which is unbelievable, because I think the last time I spoke to you, there was about 30 to go. Yeah. When are you planning next to come over, Berkley?
So we're trying to figure out when playoffs. I'll be on an airplane and figure that out. I can tell you that what's going on. And then, as always, we come back at the beginning of the season and stuff, because we'll be with the team and the club and doing some more content. We are trying to mesh up schedules. I was literally on some calls right before this one, talking about travel schedules, and I was like, "Where else, Berkley?" And I was like, "TBD." Stevenage. And I was like, let's get it done, boys, and make it happen, and we'll be out there. But absolutely. Yeah, we love coming to there, just coming off the train, running up the tunnel with everybody, and just really feeling that experience. So I can't wait to get back.
Amazing. It would be so good if we made the playoffs and you popped over. That would be, because playoff
That'll be
So
fun.
good.
It's good to see everybody too. So I was at Exeter too, and I just quietly walked by the guys, and they're like, "Hey, what's up? Like, what's going
Oh
on?" And
wow! Oh, I didn't know you were there for Exeter. No way.
yeah, we quietly, and I was like, the two matches we went to, we were losses, and I was like, we should not come.
Oh no! I wonder if they were Luton and Exeter then back to back. Was it Luton and
It
Exeter?
was, yeah, I think so.
Ah,
And then I was like,
yeah,
we need to stay away. But that was the most of the matches we went to, we won. So that everybody, Stu and Mike and everybody were like, come back.
yeah.
And going into it. But we have Sally running around there too. So she's our lucky charm a lot of times, and make that happen. But I'd love to see, W's coming up. But if we can tremendous opportunity. We win April 6th would be amazing. It's Blackpool. Like, let's get that one done, particularly because it's a charity match and such the positivity and the feel good that's going on.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. And I will, well, I say I will, but I can't wait to see the Xsolla box at Wembley for the playoff final and seeing you go. But you know what? I feel like if we get in the playoffs and get promoted, I feel like you guys should lift the trophy. That'd be, could you imagine that? That'd be great content.
That would be fun. That would be a fun time.
That'd be amazing. Berkley, thank you so much for coming on. I know obviously time's strict and you've got a really busy schedule in California. Where can all the Borough fans go and follow you on the socials? I know a lot already do, but if there's any that are listening to find you, where can they?
No, we're always on the business side on LinkedIn. It's just Berkley Egenes. Instagram, same thing. We're on the X. I still call it Twitter sometimes.
Yeah,
but we're on what's going on. But get us on Xsolla.com. You'll see more content. Follow on us on YouTube too as well, on the Xsolla channel, and you can catch the content. You can see some of the recaps we've done. There'll be another one coming out after the April 6th match. So hopefully, if you are there, interacting, come say hello to the team that's going to be on the ground. Say hello to the Easter Bunny. And take some photos and stuff, but we'll be putting more content out there. So we're excited.
Well, look, Borough fans, please go and follow those social media platforms. Again, I have watched a little bit of the Xsolla stuff. By the way, I just want to say I love the content you film because I watched the San Francisco video. I love those.
Yeah.
They're amazing, Berkley. I was watching them the other day. They're so good.
This kit, so we had some of these. We bought some of these. And handed them out. This is what everybody wanted.
Yeah.
And I ran out really fast. And I was almost like, Sal, send some more. She was like, I just brought you a box. I'm like, they're gone. And we were getting into it, but everybody wants to wear it. These kits are in Seoul, South Korea, Beijing, China, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. They are hanging framed up on the wall. We have them in LA, obviously. Of what's going on, but everybody recognizes it and comes by and kind of like touches it like with pride, and when it's hanging up on the wall, and that's what they want to take photos next to. We have guests that come by and they want to take photos next to the kit, and so it's pretty cool.
That's amazing. Well, I tell you what, Borough fans listening to this or watching this podcast, go and buy a kit from the club shop. I do believe the club shop is open early next week. Go and buy one. Go and grab one. They're absolutely amazing, and it'll be brilliant to see the team wearing them on Easter Monday. And again, go and say hello to the team that are there and the Easter Bunny. I'm sure you can't miss the Easter Bunny. You're walking around the door. Berkley, thank you so much for coming on, my man.
Sure.
Absolute pleasure. And yeah, look, Borough fans, please go and follow Berkley on all those social media platforms. And we will be back next week building up to the Easter matches, as we discussed with Berkley. And we will see you all on a little bit later. Borough fans, thank you for tuning in. And at this time, as always, you've been listening or watching the Stevenage Football Club podcast.